Okay, so here we're looking at the two basic types of rope grabs on the market. There's lots of different models, but they fall into these two types. Trailers and a manual. Now, the trailers are designed to follow you and lead you as you go. You have the Sala, one of the most smoothest acting ones, the Protecta, been around for a long time, and then the manual type, Miller North, everybody puts them out. These don't follow you, these are meant to be put in spot and stay where you put them. So we've got trailers or automatics and manuals. Doesn't matter what setup you're using, for them to work effectively, the rope has to be taut or tight. The operator's manual will tell you to maintain that tightness by having 50 to 75 feet of rope underneath the worker, which you guys will probably have on that tower, probably hundreds of feet of rope. Or if you need more weight at the bottom, you can use anything, a large clevis or a flange or a couple clevises, depending on how much weight you need or what you have. If you're going to use a clevis or a flange, just take the end of the rope, fold it over like that, put it through the flange or clevis opening, drop it down over the bottom like that, and you got yourself an easy half hitch. Set that thing wherever you need it, and that's going to maintain weight. If you don't have that weight on the rope, these things are going to grab the rope, it's going to follow you up like this instead of sliding along the rope. Or if you're going to try and move this, the whole rope is going to come with you instead of just moving along like you want to do. So you got a proper rope setup, and then of course you got to pick the right tool. Okay, we'll start with the Sala, very smooth acting piece of equipment, designed primarily to protect the worker as he's climbing ladders, structure, towers, anything where it's virtually straight up and down movement. The 6-foot free fall limit, according to CSA, applies to all of these pieces of equipment. So Sala is very specific in the operator's manual that this piece of equipment is not to be used with any lanyard longer than 3 feet. 4 foot, 5 foot, no good. You can use a 2 foot, you can use a 3 foot, maximum 3 feet. And the reason for that is if I'm climbing up a structure like this, climbing up and down like this, it's trailing. If I fall, it locks off. I fall this 3 feet, I fall the next 3 feet, 6 feet of free fall, shock absorber opens up, and it does its job. The Protecta, similar situation, designed to follow you up, lead you down. If you fall, locks off, you fall this 20 inches, the next 20 inches, shock absorber opens up and does its job. This guy, you can actually take the lanyard off and put another lanyard on, just make sure that it's never more than 3 feet. This one, the manufacturer specs are clear. Do not use any other lanyard than what is attached to this thing. So we're not hooking anything else into here, and we're not supposed to be hooking anything else into here to extend this. With the manual, this one does not lead you down. It'll come up with you as you go, but it doesn't work well. You have to move this along up and then it won't go down. Okay, to move down, you have to lift this arm up and move it down like that. Okay? So go up where you set it. This one is designed to be used on swing stages, and you can use a 6-foot lanyard. You can use a short one if you want, but you can use up to a 6-foot lanyard with this tool, as long as this is situated shoulder height or higher. Then as you move the swing stage, move this up 5 feet, move the swing stage up 4 or 5 feet as much as you can reach, and on the way down, you are moving it down. Now, with this connection, you can use, designed originally for the small snap hooks, of course, but if you have a 3,600 pound gate like you guys do have on your nano locks, we're trained generally that this is an incompatible connection. But with a 3,600 pound lock or gate, if you fall, it's going to fall down to where it's supposed to be. So if you chose to, you could use the nano lock on the swing stage in conjunction with this, and you'd be staying inside the limitations of your 6 foot, or the suggestions of your 6 foot line. Now the nice thing about this on swing stages is you set this up shoulder height or higher. Now you can hook this and you've got the rope behind you or beside you, and you've got the leeway. You're not constrained by these two short lanyards to do whatever cladding you have to do along the swing stage area while you're working. And if you fall, you're not going to have more than 6 feet of free fall because you've got a good high connection. So it gives you the safety of the high connection plus the mobility of a 6 foot lanyard. Okay, now these two pieces of equipment right here, in the operator's manual, it says they can be used on swing stages and automatic lifting equipment under certain circumstances. And those certain circumstances would be a very specific work procedure along with specific, not so much training, but verification that the operator knows what hazards are involved with this. Now, both of these pieces of equipment, it says in their operator's manual, do not use on unstable surfaces or free-flowing surfaces like water or grain or aggregate, gravel, coal, things like that. Because what will happen is you'll fall, and because this thing might be trailing behind you, because it's not slipping into a state of free fall, as you roll down this pile of aggregate or into the water, there's nothing's going to make it stop. Now on a swing stage, there is that possibility that if the equipment gave out and the cable started to slip on the gearing, some sort of malfunction, that the swing stage would fall, but it wouldn't slip, it wouldn't fall so fast that it was free fall. So what you'd end up is you'd have this equipment sliding down with the worker in a fall situation until that swing stage hits structure or something like that. Of course, there could be serious injury or fatality. So if you were going to use a system like this on a lift platform, you would want the worker to clearly understand that and to be raising that thing as he goes, to always have this set up in an over-your-shoulder situation. But given the opportunity to let something just follow you, quite often individuals will just let it follow you. And then in the event of equipment failure, they might just ride this down for an extended period of time. Now, there is a feature or a phenomena that was happening to us when we first started working with this tool or this equipment. And that was that I'd be working away, doing my job, having this set up correctly, and then I would slip off. And of course, you can't train an individual to not panic or not grab the rope. So what the individual was doing when they fall, they were reaching out and they were grabbing whatever they could. And they would end up grabbing this rope and like this to try and save themselves. And then what would happen is these pieces of equipment would just put you into a state of free fall, and you would fall 20, 30 feet before you either got rope burn or whatever made you let go of that rope. But after 30 feet of free fall, you're already going about 70 or 80, maybe even 90 kilometers an hour. And then it would lock off, and it wouldn't matter shock absorber or not. You'd either be getting hurt bad or you'd wreck and break the equipment. So once we realized that this was an issue, we had to figure out some way to combat that panic. So the manufacturers had to introduce some sort of panic system. So with this system, the Sala, if I panicked and grabbed that rope and started going into a state of free fall, this thing acts just like a self-retracting lifeline. And when it gets to be falling more than 3 feet per second, it just locks off. So that's its panic grab system. Pricey system, but it works well. These guys, and the reason why Protecta said nothing longer than this particular lanyard on it. Oh, this is going to hurt. Is with this system, I'd be working away, doing my job, and if I fell, I'd reach out, and the rope wasn't there to grab because this lanyard is so short, it never lets that rope into a situation to grab it. So that's its panic protection there. This one doesn't need a panic protection because it's jammed anyways, it's gotcha in the fall. So that's why you can use a 6-foot lanyard with this. Set it up high, it's never going down, it only goes up, only goes down if you loosen the clutch and move it down. This Protecta can, there is a feature on it that you can push that, lever. I don't know if you saw that. It flips over there like that. So now this is into a locking situation where it goes up, but it won't come down. It locks in that situation. But they're not giving you permission to add a lanyard to this to make it 6 feet. So you can use it like this, but you're still supposed to stick with the short lanyard. Now the nice thing about the rope system is that, I suppose most of your harnesses are going to have suspension straps mounted right on them, but if you were to fall, or there would be equipment failure, and the worker found himself hanging in midair waiting for rescue, the individual is going to have a couple hundred feet of rope underneath him. Well, what he can do is reach down below him, pull up this rope, put a rope knot in it, and now he's built his own suspension strap that he can await rescue. Now, if you wanted to outfit your worker with a couple of cheap rope grabs, they come small. This is a trailer too, one of the smaller models. An individual could have 1 or 2 of these in his work belt, and then in the event of equipment failure, and he was hanging, and maybe the rope was too long, too heavy to pull up rope, well, he could take this extra rope grab out of his tool pouch, strap up to it, and now he's got a locking suspension strap in that method. Now, it's not something I'm going to do, but someone younger and athletic would actually have 2 of these. And this is a mountain climbing tactic, goes back hundreds of years. They use knots and ropes. Now if I set up 2, I could be standing in the one, raise this one up, get up into that one, stand there, reach down, raise this one up, stand on that one, and raise this one up, and I could build myself a ladder like this where I could climb up to my rope grab, which of course would be this, the will be. I can move that 5 feet up the rope and then continue my climb up to the next ledge on one of the flare stack that you guys are building. So there is that option, because you may not want 2 cranes or another crane. If you have a policy where you can't have too many cranes in one area, this would be an option for a worker to self-rescue or assist in rescue, of course, if he was conscious and unharmed. Now, you can do the exact same thing. When I said the mountain climbers, or in recreation, we do this sometimes too. You can take this rope, it's called a prusik knot, wrap it through there twice like that, and now it actually will do the same thing. If you put your weight on it, it'll bite down on that rope. You can build that, the same way, but there's no point in training and practicing mountain climbing techniques when for $85